The scrapyard. During the 1970s in Britain, it was a place most feared by the steam engines. As this was during the dieselisation of British rail, any steam engines who were sent there very rarely left in one piece. But to the diesels who replaced the steam engines, the scrapyard was a place of progress, where the old and outdated were put down and the new and revolutionary took their place. On the island of Sodor, however, as the Northwestern Railway was a refuge for steam engines, the scrapyards there were not dangerous, as it was ensured that no steam engines would ever be scrapped. Since many of the scrapyards on the other railway were occupied by some of the worst diesels in all of Britain, the engines of the NWR almost always stayed clear of them. This is one of the very few times one of them didn't. One afternoon at Brendam Docks, BoCo was arranging a line of trucks into a siding for Ben to pick up, when he was approached by the Fat Controller.
BoCo, there's a scrap train at Vicarstown, and the engine is meant to take it to Barrow Scrapyard is broken down, he said to BoCo. No one else is available, so I need you to take it.
Yes, sir, he replied. I'll head to Vicarstown right away.
BoCo had never been to a scrapyard before, and whilst he had heard rumours about them, all were far from positive. Before we left, he asked Edward what he was getting into. It's not a pleasant experience for any of us, but you shouldn't have anything to worry about, BoCo. You're a diesel after all, Edward told him. The diesels at Barry only hate steamies like me. BoCo thanked him and went to Vicarstown.
About half an hour into BoCo's journey to Barry, he was diverted onto the wrong track, and almost an hour later, he and his crew realised they were lost. BoCo then saw a Class 08 diesel trying to paint in BR black up ahead.
Excuse me, he called to the diesel. Do you know I can find Barrow Scrapyard?
The diesel rolled up to him. You're a Sudrian, right? He asked BoCo.
Yes, the name is BoCo, he replied. Why do you ask?
You can't go there, the diesel continued. You're as good as dead the moment you set wheel in there.
What? Why? Asked the now shocked BoCo.
To them, you're a traitor. A diesel willing to go to Sodor to work with steam engines.
Well, I'm sorry, my friend, BoCo told him, but I'm not just going to leave my train here and go home. I have a job to do.
I've got to say, BoCo, you seem like a good, dedicated sort, continued the diesel. But there's a diesel there who... he will cut you up on the spot.
What? Who is this diesel?
Asked BoCo, now even more shocked. I'm not saying his name, he continued. They call him the Murdering Diesel. BoCo was at a complete loss for words. Who was the Murdering Diesel? How had he and the other engines never heard of him before? The son of a bitch who built him put a massive claw on top of him. For processing scrap, he said. Bollocks, the diesel continued, a great anger in his voice. But if you still want to do your job so bad, I'm going with you. I'll make sure we get out of there alive whether you like it or not. Owen, my apologies, I'm Diesel.
Well, Diesel, if you insist, BoCo replied.
Diesel cobbled up to the back of BoCo's train. He couldn't help but feel like the name Diesel was familiar to him, but he knew he had far more important things to worry about.